My name is Ryan. I've been playing the drums for about 22 years now, and I'm here today to talk to you about that transition. That's something you might be thinking about doing, which is coming from the percussion world, which is going to be a lot of snare drum, bells, and a lot of auxiliary percussion, over to the drum set world, which is all very similar because you're using a lot of the same fundamentals. But the application that you're using in the drum set is going to be a bit different than what you'd be typically doing in the percussion setting. And as you can see, the different cymbals and drums you use on the drum set is going to be different than what you would typically use in the percussion concert band setting. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what each drum does and what their purpose is. So the first one is very important, is the kick drum, or also the bass drum people call it, which is typically on the floor, and you hit it with the pedal. That's very important because that's what keeps that groove or the tempo of the song. And a lot of music nowadays is very bass drum heavy. So a lot of you will know that that's really what adds a lot of power and feeling behind the music that you're listening to. So the kick drum will sound something like this. Cool. And then the next one would be the snare drum, which I know all of you already know what that is from just your percussion lessons and percussion time playing percussion. The snare drum that you use on the drum set is going to be a little bit different than how you would use it in the percussion world. But the snare drum is typically placed in the center, and that's also as important as the kick drum because between the two of them, that's really what sets the groove and the tempo of whatever beat you're playing with whatever song you're playing to. So with the two, you could just really just play even a simple groove, just the two together without any other instruments, something like this. So from right there, you can already pretty much write a song from just a simple beat like that. The next two drums I'm going to talk to you about is the toms. A lot of people have preferences when it comes to toms, since every player likes to have either minimal toms like myself, or some players like to have toms shredding themselves. What a tom is going to add different fills and different layers to the music you're playing. So typically it starts with the rack tom, which is at the top. Those are usually going to be higher pitched than what the floor tom, which is going to be on the floor. So the rack tom will sound like this, and the floor tom will sound like this. So as you can tell, they already are different pitches, so you can be a little bit more melodic with your playing when you're playing with the toms. The next I'll talk to you about is going to be the cymbals, which can vary depending on your preference and what kind of music you're playing. But the most standard one is going to be the hi-hat, which is to my left. That's one of the most important cymbals because a lot of players keep that groove, that tempo on the hi-hat, and there's a bunch of different sounds you can get from it, such as this. So what the hi-hat is, it's two cymbals close together, and as you open it, it gets washier, which is better for louder music or slower pieces if you're trying to keep that sound longer. The next one would be the crash cymbal, which is over here. That's good because it adds more power and dynamic to your playing. Typically, a lot of people use that when they're ending their fills, so it adds an extra punch to end their phrase. So that's going to sound like this. As you can tell, it's already much louder than what the hi-hat is. That's what really adds to that extra punch that I was talking about before. Next one's going to be the ride cymbal. That's kind of a blend of the hi-hat and the crash, because a lot of people use the ride to keep that groove going, similar to the hi-hat, but it has a longer sustain. So people use it when there's slower tempos, just because it fits really well in the application. So it sounds like this. So those are all the fundamental drums that when you're first starting out, you'll probably start with. So I'm going to play them all together so you're going to hear what that sounds like all in the same kind of beat. Alright, so one of the reasons I like playing the drums so much because it's a great way to play with your friends, because it's a different setting, so you use a lot of more playing with guitars, basses, sometimes piano, stuff like that. It's really a great way to spend time with your friends, kind of express yourself. such as I've been playing a lot with an artist in New Jersey. His name is Samad Savage. He's a North Jersey hip-hop artist. I'm going to show you a little excerpt from a video I did with him. So I'm going to play that for you right now.
Appears to be a rarity. With clarity, I merely give care to the inherent of disparity and carry popularity of clearing up the parodies. I'm geared to voluntarily preferring any squares that be comparing me to Harry. She would carefully have varying dexterities, primarily in tearing dictionaries. We could fairly do for sheer belief in destiny and this familiarities. With me being impaired to millionaires, but listen here, you see, I'm mentally aware. I be coherently premiering with divinity when pairing, giving memories with plenty of integrity. When cooking up the melodies with felonies, or where you seek embellishing my misery and editing my history hilariously and terribly misled me to inevitably collect on the prosperity you take from me. But heresy is heresy and garishly apparently appear to be the air that get you stare at me. For you whores and force the poor, but towards the poor we war with you and yours are more insured, restored, but scores and forward, of course, and war. My core has formed a storm when we perform. We the scorn, believe the torn, proceed to thorn the beast that's formed by G.O.D. to be reborn and sort the source to force the corpse, come forth from pure, our Lord, distort the torch. Gotta be me to the burial. Gotta keep the coverage, no Mario. You don't think we got the power, but you.
Alright, well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you all the best of luck in your musical journeys, and no matter what instrument you pick, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun, and it'll bring you a lot of great opportunities in the future. Thanks, and have a great rest of your summer.